Hi, so welcome to Blox Fruits. This is a very grindy, very fun game that I do enjoy a lot, but there is a little bit of confusion whenever you first join the game, and that is how to get your first ever Blox Fruits, such as this portal fruit right here. Now, if you're in the first seed, you only have a limited amount of options. You have the Blox Fruit dealer, which gets restocked every 4 hours, I believe it is, and then there is a bunch of different fruits that can randomly come into stock based off of however the Blox Fruit dealer rolls it. Essentially, all of these fruits that you see here have a percentage chance of being rolled to be in stock every 4 hours. I could be wrong about the 4 hours though, but either way, you'll be able to see when it restocks at the top using this timer. And if you guys want the actual percentages for each and every one of these fruits, let's say that you specifically wanted to roll, I don't know, like human Buddha because this is a very popular fruit, then you can go onto the wiki for Blox Fruits and see the percentage of the likelihood of Buddha being rolled. But just make sure that you check this every time it gets restocked, see if your fruit's in stock, buy it if you want, but you do have to have belly in order to buy whatever fruit is in stock. Now, of course, this is on Pirate Island. That is where the Blox Fruit dealer is here. And this is the Marine Island where you can find the Blox Fruit dealer right here. Once you get level 50, you'll be able to come to this jungle area here. More than likely, you would have already beaten and gone past the jungle area, or maybe you would hit level 50 by the time that you're here anyways. So you'll know where Jungle Island is and what it looks like. But essentially, whenever you hit level 50, then from that point forward, every time that you get more and more levels, the price of hitting the Blox Fruit gacha increases. But either way, you can come to the Blox Fruit gacha and do a quick spin to see what you get. For example, if I go here, I can only get this every 2 hours, and then I say, all right. And because I'm level 2,450, it's going to cost me 313,000 belly, roughly. I think that this is also decreased based on if you have premium or not on Roblox, but I'm not entirely sure. But either way, this is another place that you can go ahead and roll for a random fruit. They'll give you the physical version of it, such as this ice fruit, which I can store, and then maybe I can trade it later on in the second sea or the third sea. Keep in mind though that if you decide to store anything here, you more than likely won't be able to unstore it from your inventory. So just make sure that you eat whatever it is that you actually want to eat. And then I'm not exactly sure how the whole storing and unstoring works here in the first sea, but just be careful. Eat whatever fruit it is that you want. Try to store the others that you don't want or don't need. And if you can't eat or store it, try to give it to somebody else that might be in need of it if necessary, or just drop it. You can drop it on the floor or drop it into the ocean, and if you drop it into the sea, you get a free title anyway. Now, those are the only ways that you can get a fruit here in the first sea, other than waiting for a fruit to randomly spawn beneath a tree around it, kind of like around the base of the tree where like the trunk is. A fruit can spawn there, and if you have the fruit notifier game pass, it'll essentially tell you how far away you are from the fruit, and the closer that you get, the distance will decrease on your screen. So for example, if there was a fruit just chilling right here and I was like over here, it could be like, oh yeah, you're like 30 meters away. And then I got all the way up close to it, be like, okay, you're 1 meters away. And then I could pick up the fruit and take it there. Now, if you're in the second sea, you have a lot more variety here. You have a lot more options of things that you can actually do here. To start off from the differences from the second sea and the first sea, there is a factory event that happens every once in a while. If you deal the most damage to the core during the event, you are given a random fruit. It's almost like hitting the gacha, but instead of having to hit a gacha or spend money, you kind of just complete an event. And then if you did the most damage, you get a fruit. So if you have a private server, it's really good in that way. Inside of this cafe, this is where you can find the Blox Fruit dealer and the gacha giver right at the outside. And on top of that, if you're in the second sea, you have an opportunity to run into several different sea events that happen whenever you're on the boat. These are a bit more of a rare occurrence, but if you're sailing around on a boat in general, there is a chance that a sea beast or a ship raid will spawn. The ship raid is kind of like you're just getting attacked by boats, and there is a small chance that you can get a fruit from defeating a ship raid. I am not sure if the sea beast gives any of that. I've defeated a lot of sea beasts and I have not gotten a fruit from that, but I have defeated a ship raid and have gotten a fruit at least once from that. There's also this thing here, which honestly I don't recommend, but you can technically get a fruit, which is the kilo fruit from the doghouse. But you know, it would cost you 97 Robux, which I don't recommend. One of the things I forgot to mention as well, though, is that not only can you find the percentage chances of a fruit being in stock on the wiki, but you can also find the percentage chance of it spawning in under a tree. And I'm not sure if there is a percentage chance that you can find of it being rolled in the gacha, but there is a chance chance that could happen as well. Whenever you come to the third sea, congratulations, by the way, if you're here, there is a Blox fruit dealer literally right at the dock right here, just waiting to just be interacted with. I think that is one of the only few places it's located here in the third sea. The other place being over at the floating turtle, specifically the floating turtle's mansion, where you can find both the gacha and the Blox fruit dealer. And then on top of that, there is another way to get a fruit, and that is by dealing the final blow or dealing the most damage to the attackers whenever there is a pirate raid on the Castle on the Sea event happening. So eventually what will happen is in the in-game chat, there will be some sort of announcement saying that there is a raid that's being planned on the Castle on the Sea, and you have 30 seconds to get over to the Castle on the Sea, and then you defend it from all the attackers. It's kind of just like you just kill a bunch of enemies over and over again. And then after that, if you did the last hit or did the most damage, I can't remember which it is, you get a fruit from that. On top of that as well, one of the things I forgot to mention is that the second sea and the third sea also have the fruits that can spawn beneath the trees. It's not exclusive to just the first sea. You guys can always check around, check up beneath the trees and whatnot to see if they are there, but it's highly unlikely that you'll be able to get a fruit that way unless you have the fruit notifier game pass. But you know, you can always try your chances. I actually know of somebody who managed to get Buddha under a tree, and they were very lucky for that, but I'm just saying that it's rare. You can try your luck if you want to. Also, I'm pretty sure, but I haven't had this experience personally, that whenever you're here in the third sea, you can also fight ship raids and get a drop from that is a fruit. And one last thing that I want to mention that I can't really show here because it would take too long, but in the third sea, you have one less option to get a fruit, and that is by finding the Mirage Island. Essentially, it's even more rare than any of the other sea events. You kind of just drive around where a big island can spawn about the size of, honestly, probably the Turtle Island. It's a huge island that can just randomly spawn as an event. If you're just kind of sailing around, there is a chance that it will spawn. And if it spawns in, there is an advanced Blox fruit dealer, which basically just has higher chances and a lower restock timer to give you more rare fruits. Like, let's say that you wanted to get leopard, which is the most expensive fruit and arguably the most rare fruit in the game at the moment. Your best bet would be to spawn in a Mirage Island event and then go to an advanced Blox fruit dealer. And hopefully with the increased chances of a more rare fruit spawning in stock, you would be able to get it there. Otherwise, check the normal stock and then check the advanced stock, and then the advanced stock should reroll a little bit more frequently than the normal Blox fruit dealer. And that is how you get a fruit in Blox fruits. I hope this helped you guys out. If there's any tutorials that you guys would like to see on my channel in the near future for Blox fruits, let me know in the comment section down below, and I can't wait to see all of you guys in the next one. Bye-bye!